So the next topic is nucleoside. So in the last part we have discussed a few biomicromolecules. So today I will start one more biomicromolecule, so that is a nucleoside. So what is a nucleoside? Nucleoside mainly consisting of nitrogen base plus a ribose sugar. So ribose sugar is a pentose sugar. It is a type of monosaccharide. So these two combines and gives a nucleoside. So next we'll move on to the nitrogen bases. So here we have two types of nitrogen bases. One is a purine and one more is a pyrimidine. Under purine we have adenine as well as the guanine. Both are having double ring structures. Whereas pyrimidine is having uracil, cytosine as well as thymine, where these are having single heterocyclic structure. Okay, so sometimes these structures can be asked for the exams. They may give you these structures and they may give you ask you to identify the structure. So that is regarding to the purines as well as the pyrimidines. Now these are nucleotides which will combine with the pentose sugar and forms nucleotide. So where nucleotides are joined by a bond known as a ester bond and they will form a polynucleotide. Okay, where these are also bound by a bond known as a phosphodiester bond to form a nucleic acid, where a nucleic acid is a biomacromolecule. Okay, so now regarding to the nucleotides, where the first foremost one is the adenine, which combines with the ribose sugar as well as a phosphate group. One addition to the nucleotide is nothing but a phosphate group, where nucleoside will join with the phosphate group and form a nucleotide. So adenine, ribose sugar, phosphate group forms a adenylic acid. It is a one type of nucleotide. Whereas guanine joins with ribose sugar as well as phosphate and forms the guanylic acid. Thymine joins with ribose sugar as well as phosphate group and forms thymidilic acid. Uracil joins with ribose sugar as well as phosphate group and forms uridylic acid, and the cytosine joins with ribose sugar as well as a phosphate group and forms cytidylic acid. So now regarding to the nucleic acids, where nucleic acids are of mainly two types, DNA as well as the RNA. DNA and RNA are the two types of nucleic acids. DNA is nothing but deoxyribose sugar plus it is deoxynucleic acid and ribonucleic acid. So that is DNA as well as the RNA. Now when we explain the structure of DNA which is also known as a secondary structure, wherein this secondary structure there is mainly it is known as DNA double helix model, and this model is also known as Watson and Crick model. So it is a Watson and Crick model which explains DNA double helix. Okay, as you can see the structure here, where there are two polypeptide chains. They are anti-parallel. This is parallel and they are anti-parallel. They have a helical coiling. Two polypeptide chains which run anti-parallel to each other and they are having a helical chain. So now here in this the direction is 5 prime to 3 prime and here from 5 prime to 3 prime. So that is the direction. So the one completed turn is about 34 angstrom. One complete turn is about 34 angstrom. Each turn consists of about 10 base pairs. You can just consider it as a 10 steps. Each turn is consisting of 10 steps, that is nothing but a 10 nitrogen base pairs. So nitrogen base pairs in the DNA is nothing but adenine, guanine, thymine as well as cytosine, whereas in the RNA it is So now here there is a 4 nitrogen bases where adenine always pairs with thymine, whereas guanine always pairs with cytosine. So now here these adenine pairs with the thymine, guanine pairs with the cytosine. So here these two lines represents two hydrogen bonds. There are two hydrogen bonds between adenine as well as the thymine, and there are three hydrogen bonds between guanine as well as cytosine. So here the amount of purines is always is equal to amount of pyrimidines in the particular DNA structure. Purines are always is equal to pyrimidines. So it is adenine as well as guanine are the purines, thymine and cytosine are the pyrimidines. If it is 50% purine, then there will be 50% is of pyrimidines. Next, here, so it is complete 10, as I told, it is 34 atoms consisting of 10 base pairs. So the distance between the successive base pair will be around 3.4 angstrom. So the coiling is about 36 degrees. So the entire coiling is about 36 degrees. So this is nothing but the complete structure of DNA, which is the secondary structure of DNA, as well as it is also known as a Watson and Crick. It was mainly given by Watson and Crick in the year 1964. Okay, so this is regarding to the structure of DNA. Okay, so next we'll just look into this particular chart, which is including all the macromolecules. So the macromolecule, it's a subunit. It is a polymer as well as a monomer, functions as well as the examples. So in this, the first foremost is the carbohydrate. Carbohydrates such as starch, glycogen, cellulose as well as chitin. Where these carbohydrates, as you know that there is a monosaccharide, oligosaccharide and the polysaccharide. This is nothing but a polysaccharide. It is mainly consisting of glycosidic bond. So where all these are mainly made up of a monomer called glucose. Monomer is a single unit. Polymer is its combined form. So glucose. Whereas the starch is a storage food material. It is an energy storage in the plants. Glycogen is a storage food material in animals. Cellulose, it is mainly found in plants. Okay, cellulose is mainly found in plants where paper, everything mainly consisting of cellulose. Next comes to the chitin. It is a fungal material. Chitin is a fungal material that is mostly found in arthropoda members such as crab as well as cockroach. Their exoskeleton, their external skeleton, it is mainly consisting of a chitin. It forms a wall. It is mainly a fungal wall. So examples for carbohydrates where it is found in potatoes, paper string, cellulose, crab shell, chitin. So these. See, where carbohydrates were mainly classified into homopolysaccharides as well as the heteropolysaccharide. Homo means they are made up of only one unit. Hetero means they are made up of multiple units. Where starch is made up of glucose, glycogen is made up of glucose, cellulose is made up of glucose, whereas chitin, which is mainly made up of N-acetyl glucosamine, N-acetyl glucosamine, that is mainly a monomer of chitin. So next we'll move on to the nucleic acid. So main two nucleic acid, one is a DNA, one more is a RNA. Their subunit is a nucleotide. Carbohydrates consisting of a bond known as glycosidic bond, whereas nucleic acids are consisting of a bond known as phosphodiester bond. Proteins are made up of peptide bond. Lipids are made up of ester bonds. Okay. So next, what is the function of these? The DNA as well as RNA. DNA, as you know that it is mainly a genetic material. It is mainly acting as a genetic material which will help in the gene have there is a presence of mRNA, messenger RNA, rRNA, ribosomal RNA, tRNA, transfer RNA. So there is a presence of different kinds of RNA, gRNA, genetic RNA. So where it also helps in the messenger, process of protein synthesis, that is RNA, whereas DNA is mainly acting as a genetic material. Next is about the protein. So we have different kinds of protein, that is functional proteins as well as the structural proteins. Functional and structural protein. So functional proteins, in the sense they will help in various kinds of functions. For example, enzymes. Enzymes are acting as a biocatalyst. They will speed up the chemical reaction. So that is the enzyme. Enzymes are chemically proteins. For example, hormones. Hormones are chemically protein. Whatever the function which is done by a hormone, it is nothing but done by a protein. So that is a functional. That is catalytic, transport as well as a support. Catalytic activity, transport as well as a support. Transport, for example, hemoglobin, that helps in the transport of oxygen as well as the carbon dioxide. So that is the transport. Support, what we have in our hair, in our nail, there is a presence of keratin. So as well as in our skin we have a collagen. So that is mainly a support. That is regarding to the proteins. And then move on to the lipids. Lipids are mainly consisting of fats, phospholipids, prostaglandins, steroids. They are mainly made up of fatty acids, glycerol, 5 carbon compounds, 4 carbon compounds. So there is a different kinds of lipids. So here, what is the function of lipids? So that is mainly helps in the energy storage. Lipids will help in the energy storage. As you all know that it is acting as the shock absorber. In some organs, they act as a shock absorber. They will also help in the chemical messenger, and also some of the steroids such as I told, progesterone, estrogen, all these are the steroids. They are mainly hormones. Okay. So next, as you know, butter is consisting of lipid, soap is consisting of lipid, corn oil is consisting of lipid, cholesterol is nothing but a lipid, hormone is a lipid. So this is one of the very important chart. You can just take a snapshot of this. Take a snapshot so that it will be easy for your NEET exams. Okay. So next we'll move on to the next macromolecule, that is a protein. Protein is one of the very important macromolecule. So proteins are the building blocks of our body, our muscles. Collagen is one of the very important proteins. So that is the building block of our body. Whereas proteins are mainly made up of amino acids. They are always heteropolymers. Proteins are always heteropolymers. What do you mean by heteropolymer? If I have an amino acid known as a glycine, I have 100 glycines. It will never form a protein. So that should have different types of amino acids so that they will form a different types of proteins. So the structure of proteins will have a 4-level structure. There is a presence of 4-level structure. This is very important. MCQs can be asked based on this. So it is a 4-level structure including primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure as well as the quaternary structure. So those are the 4-level structure. So in the primary structure, as I told, amino acids are joined by peptide bonds and forms dipeptide, tripeptide, polypeptide, where this polypeptide and which forms a linear structure, and that is a primary structure. Where first amino acid is known as N-terminal, last amino acid is known as C-terminal. Okay, so that is primary structure. Next, about the secondary structure. So regarding to the secondary structure, it is for example in cell, it is having a coil. Okay, it is having a coiling where the linear structure that will be slightly coiled, and they can even have the helical structure. So that is regarding to the secondary structure. And then move on to the tertiary structure where these helical coiling which undergoes further coiling and forms a tertiary structure. For example, in the myoglobin. So what is myoglobin? Myoglobin is a hemoglobin of muscles. So that is one of the very important hemoglobin of muscles. So it helps in the oxygen storage in our muscles. So that is tertiary structure. And next, the last one is the quaternary structure, where in the quaternary structure, here you can see the 4 polypeptide chains. Here, quaternary structure means it is 2 similar or dissimilar. 2 similar or dissimilar polypeptide chains undergoes a coiling. 2 similar or dissimilar polypeptide chains undergoes a coiling and forms a quaternary structure. It is a tetrahedral organization. For example, in hemoglobin is mainly consisting of 4 polypeptide chains. The 4 polypeptide chains are 2 alpha chains as well as the 2 beta chains. They are mainly having 4 polypeptide chains, 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains. So there is a difference here in the adult as well as in the young ones. So in the young ones, where in the child, where these polypeptide chains 2 alpha as well as 2 delta, where in the case of adult it is 2 alpha as well as 2 beta chains. So this is the complete structure of protein. So this is one of the very important topic consisting of primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure as well as quaternary structure. So this is about the structure of proteins. Okay. So next we will move on to the next topic. Okay, next we will see the functions of proteins. So proteins they mainly involve in a storage. For example, egg. Egg is mainly consisting of albumin. So that is a storage that can be used as a food. And the seed which will store the protein, egg, seed, milk, all these are nothing but helps in the storage. Next, contractile. See, our muscle contraction, we are moving our hand, leg, all involvement of muscles. Its contraction is mainly due to the protein known as, there are 2 proteins, actin as well as the myosin. Actin and myosin, they are normally known as a contractile proteins. Okay. Next we will move on to the next one, that is a defensive. For example, the antibodies. Antibodies are mainly our immune system cells against the antigens. When the foreign pathogen enters into our system, these antibodies will fight against it. So that is, they are mainly defensive. Antibodies are chemically proteins. Next, the transport, as I told, hemoglobin, where the hemoglobin which will mainly help in the transport of oxygen mainly. So that is a transport protein. And hormonal. Insulin is a hormone which mainly regulates our blood sugar level. Insulin is a hormone and that is a protein in nature. So the work done by insulin is nothing but a work done by a protein. Next is the enzymatic actions. See, there is a sentence known as all the enzymes are proteins, but all proteins are not enzymes. So all the enzymes are proteins. So that's why whatever the work done by an enzyme is nothing but a work done by a protein. One example I have given, this is a trypsin, helps in our digestion. So then receptor. So for example, our skin consisting of a protein known as a collagen. So that collagen helps in the stimuli. Okay, so that helps in the consciousness response to the stimuli. So that is a receptor protein. So these are the functions of proteins. Okay, next we will move on to the last topic, and this is one of the very important topic, that is the enzymes. So what are enzymes? For example, I have a particular beaker consisting of 50 grams of sugar. Beaker with 50 grams of sugar. Another beaker with the 50 grams of sugar. So again I will add 100 ml of water to both the beakers. 50 grams of sugar plus 100 ml of water. So what is the work? Your work is that sugar must dissolve in water. Okay, so I have 2 beakers. In one beaker I will add a glass rod and I will stir it. Using a glass rod I will stir it. So the work done will be faster in this beaker where I have used a glass rod. After dissolving this particular sugar, is there any change in the rod? There will not be any change in the rod. It is acting as an enzyme. So what are enzymes? Enzymes are biocatalysts. They will speed up the chemical reaction. They are normally globular proteins. Okay, enzymes, they are globular proteins produced in the body of the organism. They will speed up the chemical reaction without itself undergoing any change. Enzyme will never undergo any change, but it will do the work. They will speed up the chemical reaction without itself undergoing any change. So that is regarding to the enzymes. So now there is a rule known as a Thom's rule is equal to delta P by delta T. See, product formed depends on the time. Okay, product formed always depends on the time. So that is regarding to this. Next, each and every enzyme is specific. One enzyme, one substrate. One enzyme, one substrate. Okay, so here this is just a representation of a one enzyme. Enzyme consists of a protein part. There is a protein part called ecoenzyme. There is a non-protein part called cofactor. Protein part of the enzyme is the ecoenzyme. Non-protein part of the enzyme is a cofactor. Together, these two together known as holoenzyme. Ecoenzyme is a protein part. One non-protein part is a cofactor, together known as a holoenzyme. Now, there is a presence of a site known as an active site. What is this active site? Active site is the site found in the enzymes for the binding of substrate. Substrate will come and bind to the enzyme in that particular site. So, that site is known as an active site. Okay, so now there is a activation NH. Active site is the site found in the enzyme for the binding